Dr. Stanley Napper joined HBU in 2017 after serving on the faculty of Louisiana Tech University for the previous 33 years. He's the founding dean and professor of the engineering for HBU's College of Engineering. HBU's official commissioning of the College of Engineering is in January 2018. Welcome, Dr. Napper, to HBU's Think About It.
Thank you.
Now, 33 years, that's quite a tenure there at Louisiana Tech.
It's been great. So I started as an assistant professor in biomedical engineering, and I really loved that. I enjoy seeing students mature. For a long period of time, I taught entry level and senior level courses, so it was fun to see those students grow.
Yeah.
But I got involved in administration pretty early in my career, and spent most of my years doing that.
Now, tell us why and how you came to HBU.
Sure. As I approached eligibility for retirement, I was praying, asking God if there was something else that He wanted me to do, more in the line of missions or ministry than I had done before. Now, I had prayed that prayer before over the years, and every time the answer was, no, I have another job for you to do here. I had every job almost there is for a layman to do in my church. I was raising a family of 8 children and had multiple responsibilities at Louisiana Tech University. But this time as I prayed, it seemed like the Lord had another answer. So someone from HBU asked me if I would pray about coming down to be the founding dean of a new College of Engineering. I knew that's something that I had some experience that could help with, and I knew the mission was important. I know the mission of HBU. I'm very pleased about it. It's very similar to my own life mission, and I feel like we can work together very well.
How did we find you in Louisiana from Houston, Texas?
President Sloan had formed an engineering advisory board about 2.5 years ago. A small group of people that he trusted to help the university make a decision about whether they should start a College of Engineering. One member of that board was also on my board when I was dean at Louisiana Tech University, and he knew about the programs there. And so he started dragging people from Houston to Ruston. The provost came, the CFO, the CIO, some of these advisory board members came to Ruston to see some of the approaches to engineering education and to see some of the innovative programs that were there. And they all liked what they saw there, and there's a good reason why these are good programs at Louisiana Tech. Then really not long ago, someone on the Engineering Advisory Board asked if I would pray about coming down to HBU, and I did, and after that things started moving very, very quickly.
Now, 33 years at Louisiana Tech, that's quite a run.
It's been great, yes.
Why did it work so long and so well?
Louisiana Tech University benefited from visionary leadership and stability in leadership. And there were those that they had a goal for advancing the institution in innovative educational programs, not just in engineering, but in other colleges, in graduate level programs. And so the university was adding doctoral degrees in multiple areas and in research. And I was in a place where I could contribute in all of those areas. I could point to things in innovative education that I was a part of, in research and in education.
So were you engaged in engineering there or in another discipline?
No, my degrees are in biomedical engineering. I was a professor in biomedical engineering. At some point, they asked me to take on an administrative role, sort of like a department head, although it was called different there. And then I was asked to become an executive associate dean. So I was support for the dean during a couple of years when he was actually doing some things for the president directly. And then I was the dean of the College of Engineering and Science from 2004 to 2013. My last 4 years at Louisiana Tech, I was vice president for research and development.
And so are you here with your wife in the apartment? Are your children raised?
My children, I have 8 children, and they're all young adults now. My baby girl turned 18 a year ago, And so our life was changing anyway. And so
How many of them live in Ruston, incidentally?
there's only one right now. He's got a year left at Louisiana Tech. But I have children in the ministry. I have one son that's almost finished at New Orleans Baptist Seminary, and he's serving as a youth minister right now in Alabama. I have a son that just moved to New Orleans to go to New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary, and he has a part-time position as a youth minister. I have a daughter who is at Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, getting a master's degree in apologetics, and working at a bank. And I have two children now that are traveling with a church revival ministry group called Life Action Ministries.
Oh, I know it well.
And that's a ministry that has benefited our family. When we were young, when I was 30, they came to our church and made a difference in my life. They came 20 years later, made an impact on my children's life. And so actually, there was a year when I had 4 children traveling with that group. This year I have 2 children that are traveling with that ministry.
The founder of that ministry, Del Fazenfeld, was a real good friend of mine.
Guys?
Yeah.
It's been a great ministry. We don't know all the leaders of that group very well, but we know some of their traveling revivalists.
They're great people. Now, in HBU's College of Engineering, what is the academic offerings and the features of the engineering school?
So we're planning to offer 3 bachelor's degrees. One is in cyber engineering, one is in electrical engineering, and the third one is in computer science. Before I entered the conversation with HBU, this engineering advisory board, as they surveyed the landscape of all the things you could do in engineering, they wanted to identify a branch or a discipline of engineering that was not repeated so many different places, and that it would be a special niche, and that would meet a need. And so they began focusing on cybersecurity or cyber engineering. And Louisiana Tech University had created a cyber engineering degree back when I was dean, one of the first in the nation that was an engineering degree focused on cybersecurity. I think there are a lot of universities that have business degrees or computer science degrees focused on cybersecurity, but not engineering degrees where the students would know about electronic systems and other physical systems, control systems, as well as the cybersecurity on those systems. And it was actually it was very popular, became popular quickly at Louisiana Tech University. And the folks at HBU said that's a good niche. That's something that's not covered in the Houston metro area. It may not be covered anywhere in Texas, because that combination of engineering and cybersecurity is a little unusual still today.
Now, what's involved to get the engineering school off the ground?
I spent the first 6 weeks writing curriculum, assessment plans, and other documentation needed for the university to give approval, and so that we could also notify SACS, the institutional accreditation agency, that this is something HBU wanted to do. I've spent the last 2 or 3 months getting to know the community, getting to know the metropolitan area and the industries here. I think that the degree programs that HBU is going to offer are going to be especially important to the oil and gas, energy industries, to the healthcare industry, and to many others. Maybe a third focus would be the maritime security industry. So I've been meeting mostly chief information officers, chief information security officers from the large corporations that are located here in those industries and others.
And what do you need to do? What's the plan?
So we have to recruit students. The first class will start this fall, and we've begun that process. Once we got our approvals, we were able to start recruiting students. We've hired
approvals from SACS.
No, the approvals on campus.
Okay.
The approval from SACS takes about 6 months. So
Sure.
As we promote the programs right now to start the fall, we have to remind our recruits that this is pending SACS approval.
Sure.
Yeah.
And what financial needs are associated with it?
And so the university's goal is to launch these programs from external support. And in fact, it'll be a while before there are enough students to generate significant tuition revenue anyway. There was a nice gift from the MD Anderson Foundation before I got on board. There was a nice gift in the fall from the Fondren Foundation. And we're seeking support like that from other foundations, from the corporations, and from individuals. We have lab equipment to buy. We have to pay the salaries of the first faculty hires. There'll be some renovation we'll have to do in some of the space that's been allocated here. So we have needs of about $1 million this year, of which we have maybe a third, and another $1 million next year, maybe $500,000 in some of the years that follow that from external or private sources.
Mm-hmm. And you brought some material along. Do you want to share what some of the brochures?
Sure. There are two pieces that I've been sharing. One summarizes the vision and the mission of the College of Engineering at Houston Baptist. One of the things that I've been saying to students that we're recruiting, to faculty, and to these corporate executives that I'm talking to, there may be other programs, other engineering programs, other cybersecurity programs, but there aren't any that have the unique combination of values and standards, biblical foundation for decision making, as well as a good integration of the science, engineering, and math. Those things are not separate subjects. They need to be tied together, and we've designed a curriculum that will do that. And the third pillar, or the third component, is modern information and computing technology. So my vision for the College of Engineering at HBU is to be the best college in the world that does a good job of integrating those STEM fields, integrating information computing technology, and integrating faith in what our students learn and what they're capable of doing when they graduate.
Now, how can people learn more about the engineering school?
So our webpage is live now, and it's simply HBU.edu/engineering. And we put a lot of information out there about the curriculum, about the need for professionals with these skills, about how to transfer into the programs if you're already in a college somewhere. There's information about the projects that we're going to do. My hope for the degree programs that we're planning here, they'll be very industry connected. That's one reason why I've been visiting these corporate executives. We'd like to have engagement from industry from the freshman year to the senior year. The students in these programs are going to own their own laboratory. And this laboratory will have a breadboard, a microprocessor. They'll learn some programming skills, some electronic skills. It has gears, motors, touch sensors, sound sensors, light sensors. And they'll be able to build useful solutions with this kit of components, even during their first year, the freshman year. And more advanced projects as they go. Every student who graduates from one of these programs will have a 4-credit internship in one of the companies that's agreed to partner with us. And then the major project in the student's education will be during the senior year. They'll conduct a year-long industry-driven project. There'll be a lot of back and forth, probably on-site visits. We'll probably have some of these industry experts on campus as guest lecturers or project sponsors. These will be the hallmarks of the 3 degrees that we're offering now in the College of Engineering.
That sounds interesting, and thank you so much for providing that information. Dr. Stanley Napper joined HBU in 2017 after serving on the faculty at Louisiana Tech for 33 years. He's the founding dean and professor of engineering for HBU's College of Engineering. Now, you can learn more by going to HBU.edu/engineering. And remember, HBU's Admissions is ready to take your call at 281-649-3211. Thank you, Dr. Napper, for being with us today.
Thank you, Jerry.